This is one of the exhibits, right? And this is the supervised visitation order. Okay, so we're gonna read it, and then we're gonna maybe I'll do a poll or something, because we're gonna try to figure out what we think this means. Okay, because remember, John's attorney says that it was a supervised visitation center. Bree's attorney is saying it's just a supervised visitation. Doesn't have to be in a center, just has to be supervised visitation. Okay, so supervised visitation order. Evidence has been presented in support of a request that the contact of respondent, which is Bree, with the children be supervised based on the allegation of abduction of child. Then you scroll down and it gives the child's information, which I will not. He's back. You guys, I told you, my man loves me. He's a loyal one, this guy. So I won't release child's information. Type, supervised visitation. Okay, so it says type, supervised visitation. Number 5, supervised visitation provider. It is marked professional, individual provider, or supervised visitation center. Now the thing with that is it doesn't say, it's not two different boxes. Here we go. This line here. Okay? So there's not an extra box. It's not like a box that says individual provider or in a supervised center. It just says it has to be professional, individual, or visitation center. Well, if you were choosing center, you would still have to choose that same box. Correct? And then it says, okay, so, thank you, love. So you could do it, I guess in a sense, you could choose to interpret that however you want to interpret it. Mind you, there's one box that says both, individual provider or supervised visitation center. Then number 6 says authorized provider to be determined by petitioner, which is John. So I feel like, and again, this is only my opinion, so I want to know what your guys' opinion is. He would be the one making that deciding factor. Okay, so I don't know, I want to know, I'm going to put a poll up. It's going to be red if you would take that as a center, or blue will be if it's just a professional, whatever it's called. Okay, so red is you would take that as a center, or he gets to choose. Blue is just a monitor. Yeah, because it's an individual provider or supervised visitation center. Yeah, you can take it kind of as both too. They should have those, and there should be 3 boxes, right? It should be professional provider, non-professional provider, or visitation center. That's how it should be written out, and how their boxes should go to take it right. So read again. It says type of supervision. It says supervised visitation provider. And it gives you 2 options. One option is professional, in quotation says individual provider or supervised visitation center, or B is non-professional. So if you want a center, you have to choose A. If you want just a supervised individual provider, you have to choose A. It's not broke down. But then when you go to number 6, who it's who decides, the petitioner, which is John. Jesse, I agree 100% with this. I think that this is an issue that the court needs to address and fix. I can't believe it's written like this, and I think that other people are probably going through this exact same thing. Because I could see how she could interpret that as, or her attorney. Now, don't get me wrong. Her attorney probably knows, right? She deals with this. She knows. But I could see how they could think that it's an individual. But again, there's not another box if you want just the individual or if you want it at a center. Absolutely. Needs to be more detailed and put out there. But that's what it is. This is what's causing all of the confusion, and I blame the courts. The courts should have that out there. Absolutely. I agree. I used to monitor supervised visitations at centers, family homes, and DCS offices. It's a tough job. Now, so since you do that, I always say, I feel like doing them out in the community or in a home setting, I always feel like we get a much better idea of how the parent is actually going to respond. I don't necessarily like centers. You're not getting a real synopsis. And you would probably be able to tell, what you think there as well if you'd like to. The judge would have clearly indicated other items were scratched out in a previous order. They usually like for you to work together and figure things out. Yeah, unfortunately, they're not figuring this out. Trinity, scroll out and come back in. Yeah, now I do agree with them doing at least the first one in a center. And I know exactly why he wants it in a center. I get that, I grasp it, I'm here for it. But again, you're going to get a lot better synopsis of how she's actually going to be able to handle her child, right? You go into a visitation center, you don't have your phone, you have no other distractions, your entire thing is on there, you've already had to make all the food, but whatever preparation you've had to do without a child. That's not real life, right? How is she going to be when she's in a home setting and the baby's hungry or not? He is bad. He is a needy, loyal man. I picked right. The third time was charmed. What? Thank you, guys. Oh, is he my goal thingy? Oh my gosh, this kid. Yeah, I just feel like we get a better idea. All we know, she isn't going to make him anything. that is very true as well. But that is also could potentially be a ding against you. She was saying today how they didn't give her enough. Thank you, Love Bug. Oh, I love you so much. I was reading the comment when I said enough. She was saying today how they didn't give her enough notice. That's why she hasn't booked her flight. Thank you. They matched my outfit. Enough, honey. She's had a year's notice. She knows when her child's birthday is. What does she mean? She's the one that said she wanted to go. She has an excuse for everything. Someone did come in and say that she has booked her flight. Again, I didn't know this was even an issue because I've been at a conference all day. You didn't get notified either? Oh my gosh. I swear TikTok is hating on me right now. Actually, the only thing we've talked about is just the visitation order. And the visitation order says that it needs to be visit due to abduction of child. And then it says type of visitation. The box is marked for supervised visitation. The next one says supervised visitation provider. It gives you two options. Option A is professional, and in quotes it says individual provider or supervised visitation center. Doesn't give you to choose one. And the next box is non-professional. So that's where the confusion is coming in. Then on number 6 is authorized provider. It says to be determined by the petitioner. So I take that as he gets to choose. West Mom, I love you. She's like, I had my baby's first birthday planned a year in advance. Well, technically, honey, so did Bree. She did. She had it planned with all of these, whatever group of y'all who she's hanging out with. She said they were going to be drinking, they were going to be hammered, having a good old time, because the first birthday is not for the child, it's for her. Her words, not mine. Yes, they agreed upon the blessed, I can't remember. Right. And she tried to play it off like, you guys, don't tell me that you guys haven't been to birthday parties where they're not that they're not drinking or whatever. Who's having a party like that, especially for the first birthday party? Now, don't get it twisted. As my kids got older and whatnot, and they're the ones in the summertime, and we'd be having, you know, the cookouts and whatnot. Yeah, would some people be drinking? Yeah, like a beer, you know what I'm saying? But not like yesterday. She said yesterday that party, right in the 90s. That's when my kids were. That party yesterday, she said, this is what I wanted for baby W's first birthday, is to have all of his aunties and uncles here and us just drinking and partying and have a good time. Okay. I sent you a video earlier where she said she has her ish. I don't know if she's ever had it together. Yeah, the chaos. I literally can't. So, no, she's not going to the party. My understanding is that she gets a few hours of supervised visitation on that day. Did they agree on a place? I don't know. You guys, I've literally been at a conference all day. I haven't even... You guys know how when you guys go to, like, banquets and stuff, how their food is... Even the fancy places, ours was at a really nice place. It was shit. So I'm starving. I haven't eaten or nothing today. Bree's attorneys, writings, and emotions attorney. Oh, absolutely. Oh, legitimately gives me a headache. And we will go... Let me find them. Emails. Let me scroll down. I just started this, so I was running late. Let me scroll down and make sure I'm not missing anything else. Great. Oh, there's a child abduction prevention order as well. The court finds that there is a risk that Bree will take the child without permission because the party has violated. No, I'm fine. Hey, well, that's all personal, but I'm fine. I can go days and not eat. Let me see. Okay, the court finds there is a risk that Bree will take the child without permission because that party, and then it's checked, has violated or threatened to violate a custody or visitation parenting time order in the past. Letter C, has done things to make it easy for him or her to take the children away without any permission, such as, and then it's marked other. Her attorney crossed out the word kidnapped and put remove the child from the state of Texas where her visitation time was required to be exercised. Same thing. Just kidnap it. Okay. Also has a history of DV and not cooperating with the other parent or party in parenting. Her attorney also just crossed off DV. Like she just went through this and said, nah, that's not, we're just going to take that out. We don't like that. We're just going to move this verbiage around. Her attorney is a hoot, I tell ya. Hey, lady. How are ya? Oh, go back. Go back, Rich. Where'd you go? Oh my god. Oh my god. I closed it. No. Let me go back. Wait, is this more? Wait, did she send me this? When was this done? Wait, hold on. I just got sent something else. Hold on. Oh, no, it's him. I was like, dude, no way. Well, now I can't remember what page I was on. Hold on. Those stupid wind chimes. Because I want... Oh, here we go. Okay. I wanted to go over the email for the people who were not there for the emails. Okay, here's the abduction of child. Duration of visits. All visits between respondent and minor child shall be professionally supervised. Dates and times to be coordinated and mutually agreed upon of the parties. And the availability of the supervision monitor is 100%. Payment responsibility is 100% on Bree. She is 100% responsible to pay for the visitation. What is this one? Oh, we went over this. This is, okay, in Texas. Has it, okay, now we're into the whole kidnapping thing, right? It says, remove the child from the state of Texas where a visitation time is required to be exercised. D, has a history of, again, where she crossed out domestic violence, not cooperating with the other parent or party in parenting. And then F, has family or emotional ties to another county, state, or foreign country. Supervised visitation, quotes, parenting time, terms are as specified in another exhibit. The party in item 1 must not move from the following location with the child without permission in writing from the parent or party of the court. All this is just kind of stuff that we already know. The court authorizes, this was really important because you guys remember, custody is a civil matter, right? Typically, if you contact the police because of a custody order, police can't do anything. No, this is from her attorney. She filed on a Monday or Tuesday, I believe. But this is all like back stuff. We read all her documents yesterday, everything she put in. And now this is just all her exhibits. Okay, so if you call the police because you have a custody issue, it's a civil matter. There's nothing they can do. They can stand by to make sure everything stays cool. You know what I'm saying? So thank you, Megan. Yes, you guys, don't forget your daily heart me's. We're back up to 356 phone numbers. My man is back. Oh, I love him. I'm gonna find me a dog just like him. I would actually take care of him, and I can afford him. Just kidding. Okay, enforcing the order. The court authorizes any, that's huge, any law enforcement officer to enforce this order. In this county, contact the Children Abduction Unit of the Office of District Attorney at and listed. That's huge. Because, again, please do not get involved in this type of stuff. But because the judge orders it, they can now get involved in that. So, that is a big deal. David Marie. Exhibit H. This is just the information on keeping the peace. Supervised visitation cost. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, MG. Cost from, this is from the Keeping the Peace. This is the one that has it's owned by a bailiff. First of all, can we shout out this bailiff? Right? Bailiffs are the officers that work in the court. He is probably sitting in there all day listening to all these trials and hearing the judge offering or requiring them to have visitation. And he's like, and knowing that they're booked out so far. This man is smart. He was like, say Wes, let me open up my own, hire my homeboys that are all police officers to do it on their off time. Smart man. He saw there was a need, easy to do, and he made him some money. So they charge $137.50 per hour for up to 3 children. Additional supervisors may be required with 4 or more, blah, blah, blah. And they have a 2-hour minimum. So each time she sees Winter, she'll have to pay for her airfare, her housing, and $137.50 per hour to see Winter. Baby W. I try really hard to not say his name. 137. And she said she requested 6 hours, or 4 to 6 hours, so we're just going to say 5. That's $687.50 to do 5 hours that day. It'll be crazy because, remember, she, is A-Law Talk here? Come on up, girl. It's crazy because remember how she kept saying how he was such a bare minimum dad, but she hasn't had to pay for anything. John has absolutely paid for absolutely everything. Now she's going to be in a position where she's going to have to pay, so it'll be interesting to see how she follows through. Hi, love. How are you?
Good. How are you? You are looking nice. I mean, you always look nice, but you have like the jacket on or the shirt.
I came right from my conference and hopped on. But yes, if I had it my way, I would be in sweats and yoga pants, t-shirts every day. But yes, I do have to dress up nice every once in a while when you got to go schmooze with, the professionals. So.
Oh, I know all about that.
Yeah. So yeah, we were just going over some of this stuff. Now, question.
Yes.
So I found where they had the visitation paper, right? Let me go up and see it. I see where the conflict or where their confusion is coming from because they need to change the form, right? Because the form says, hold on, let me go. This is the abduction prevention. Okay, here's supervised visit. Okay, so it says type supervised visitation. Number 5 says supervised visitation provider. It gives you A or B. And A says professional, and then in parentheses, individual provider or supervised visitation center.
Yeah.
And then B is non-professional. So they clump the two together. So he may be thinking center and she may be thinking individual. You know what I'm saying?
No. I mean, yes and no. Okay. So in California, we use these forms. The courts prefer these forms. And so you've probably noticed that. That's kind of rare. Most courts don't do this, but because the California courts are so inundated with so many cases, it's easier to even just have attorneys to file the forms. And so the form is the form. It's not, that's just standard language on the form. The real option is, do you have to have a professional supervisor, or can 2K say, oh, my friend is going to supervise, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. That would be, non-professional. And so the California law actually defines what that means. But in order to have professional supervision ordered, that check mark has to be, or that box has to be check marked. So it's not, that itself does not mean or a facility, but his attorney is making it that way. That's our job. That's her job.
Right.
So, anyway.
777 in the chat. Oh, no, 775. I was trying to catch it when it's three numbers. But I can see where that would be confusing. That should be three separate boxes: individual provider, supervised visitation center, or non-professional.
It's only confusing to people who aren't attorneys in California. It's not confusing to the attorneys. She knows. They know. She's just
playing the game.
She's making the argument, and she's doing it. I mean, here's the thing: is it's you know, I mean, that's not wrong of John to want that, right? Because of the circumstances.
Yeah.
So I think that this would have certainly been ordered if it was requested. I'm going to let you guys read between lines there. I think I've been a little bit upfront with my position. I will say the response that I saw from 2K's attorney was chef's kiss. But I think what is happening now, though, is that 2K's attorney is like accusing, or not 2K, I'm sorry, Brianna's attorney is accusing 2K's attorney of doing things and not doing things or being sort of shady. Yeah. And she's like, no, not going to let that go down. Yeah. So her response, I have not seen a filing like this from her ever, to be honest. So this was a good read in response. But
oh yeah, it has absolutely been very interesting. I still can't get past the emails.
Oh, did you read the ones that his attorney filed?
Oh yeah. Oh, did he? Well, I don't know. Let's see if they're in there.
They're on like page like 13 and 14 of the document. I'm looking. I just haven't pulled up right now, but
page 13, 14. I can go back up. I'm on page 56, and I just got to emails.
Well, I guess. Oh, hold on. To page 12. Page 12 is what I'm really interested in because he's allowing a 4-hour visit on the birthday. I will say, I don't know if he's listening or if they're listening or whatever to this, but it is really easy to want to suggest a 4-hour visit, but that is really hard on the baby, but also for Bree. And I don't think that she really realizes it, but the visit should start at like an hour. People might hate me for this, but they should start at like an hour and a half, you know?
I think they have to do, most of them, it's a minimum of 2 hours. Required
but
by
not
the,
for
required
a baby like this. That's usually for like an older, not even older, but like a toddler, like an older toddler. But he's not even one. He's not even one. That would be his first birthday.
Right. So no, what I'm saying is that the visitation centers require you to have a minimum of 2 hours. No, she doesn't have to stay the whole time, but they have to pay for a minimum of 2 hours.
Yeah, well, fine. She should just pay that then, and then do it for like, because the expectation that he's going to be, it's not going to be manageable for her. And certainly the first visit should be shorter, just so that she can understand, like, what does she need to bring?
Absolutely.
You know, some visitation centers have stuff, many don't, most don't, but, you know, some do, but she's going to have to, you know, figure out what she needs to make it special for her and the baby. And
I know here, most of them, what they do is they have stuff in case of an emergency, right? Diapers, formula, wipes, food, snacks, whatnot, but they will never bring it out because they want to see how prepared are you. Do you know what your child needs? Are you going to have everything that you would need to be out of the house for whatever your block of time is? Are you able to provide the care during that time? And then you got to add in, he's 1, right? So he's going to have nap time. So if that nap time happens to fall in between the time when she has the child sleeps and you're just sitting there. You know what I'm saying? It's such an awkward, uncomfortable.
It's going to be really challenging for her because I think she's gotten so addicted to this streaming, and it's going to be very streaming, and it's going to be very challenging, I think. But also too, but we'll see what happens. And if 2K has the opportunity, some visitation centers and some supervision or supervisors rather will charge for detailed notes. And if I were 2K, I would pay for detailed notes. So let her pay for the visit, but I would pay for them to take detailed notes so that I could,
Mhm.
use that in
Yeah.
court. Um, because those are going to be, much better. So.
Let me see. I'm just getting there. Let's see if it have what it says about.
Oh, you know what? It may not be page 12. Hold on.
Yeah, I was
Sorry.
like, I'm down on. I went up and it's not page 12. So here it says visitation notes. The supervisor will take notes during the visitation. Notes are freely given upon request. You will be given given complete access to the Google Drive folder for your case. A subpoena is not required for notes. Supervisor testimony or deposition subpoenas are required for that. I was trying to see if there's anywhere where it says anything else. No.
Sorry, the page would be, I messed up my,
You were good. I'm on page 56, and that was the first email I see. Yeah.
well, are you in the response or are you on Brianna's?
I'm still on the one from yesterday.
Oh, well, this is 2K's attorney's response that I'm looking
okay,
at. Yeah.
we'll let you read it.
Well, no, I mean, there's, I can read it, but there's a lot of pages in that. Hold on one second.
I wonder if that's one. I don't know if I have that. I'm so tired.
Sorry about that. I had to mute myself for a second, but okay, I just have to combine the pages because it would be page 32. Sorry, but it was just where 2K's attorney gives Brianna's attorney a list of dates, which I thought was very. May 11th, Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah,
May
yeah.
23rd through 29th.
Yeah. Yeah, I have that one. I can read that one. That was the one. That's one I have pulled up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry.
And it's so funny because
I'm late.
No, you're fine because we just got there. I think I'm just still on the different one, but she just put all the information together, which is why it's so damn long. And it's so funny that under categories, she has it labeled smoke ball. I don't know why I find that funny or odd, but it's so random. But anyways, it says,
yeah.
Hi, Lindsay. In reviewing your monitor's website, this is when. Anyways, I'll just read it. In reviewing your monitor's website, all visits need to be scheduled online by Bree. So we could confirm dates and times prior to Bree's paying for her visits. The parties also probably have to do intakes first, so realistically, visits this week may not work, but my client is open to them. To be clear, in addition to the proposed 4-hour visit on 4/26, which is his birthday, John proposed the following dates and times for Bree to exercise visits during mediation. I understand she was in agreement with these dates. May 11th, Mother's Day. May 23rd through the 29th, to ensure Bree is spending time with Winter for the Memorial Holiday, 5/26, and also Bree's birthday, 5/27. June 20th through the 26th. July 4th, Bree's 4th of July holiday, July 25th and 31st. Well, wait a damn minute.
Through July 25th through 31st.
Yeah, sorry, I just went back to the whole July 4th, because didn't she say earlier yesterday, weren't we reading how she was like, oh, I find it so convincing, or so coincidental, that he puts these dates out after she puts out all her travel plans, and wasn't her attorney just complaining how he got every holiday? So he's putting in here, making sure she has the Memorial Day, making sure she has the July 4th weekend, and her birthday, and Mother's Day. So he has given her now all of the 2025 holidays through this part, which is what she was complaining about yesterday. And it says the two of them agreed upon this in mediation. So what the hell is she talking about yesterday when we were reading it?
I don't know.
Remember how she said that? How she said that?
Well, she wrote that.
What a y'all.
I think part of what happened is that their usual courtroom was closed, but still, usually the clerk will accept, especially if it's e-filed documents. So, but it looks to me like that was written a couple of days after she was retained, not when it was actually entered into the system. So it's not completely up to date, but still, she should correct it.
Yeah. Yeah, because it sounds like yesterday when I read it, she was like, well, he had all 2024 or holidays. She gets that, and I just find it so coincidental. All of a sudden, now he wants to have visitation. She releases all of her vacations, and now he wants her to have visits on just those times. No, bitch, it's because those are the holidays that she's that you're bitching about that she doesn't have.
Well, but not only that, she's going to have to choose. I mean, this is a good opportunity for sure for her to show that it's important, you know, that she is placing importance on her parenting time, and it's just all up to her. So she's going to have to cancel those trips.
Right.
But also he gives her, you know, through dates. So it's like 5 days at the end of July, you know, 5 days. So anyway, I think that it's very, I mean, he is trying.
And since they're monitored, she doesn't have to do the whole 5 days, right? She could choose like 2 of those days, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, excuse me. I like breathed in. I don't know if you heard that, but that was like trying to kill myself over. Oh, I can't say that. Sorry. Anyway. Oh, no, gosh. Okay. Sorry.
You are fine.
Okay. I also just lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. She doesn't have to do those whole days. I do think that 4-hour visit is going to be tough. I mean, he's one. Supervisors and so most of the cases that I have that have parents on supervised visitation is in Oregon. California doesn't order it that much. Mm-hmm. CPS does in California, but the courts really steer away from it. So she should not feel good about this. But anyway, Oregon orders it like candy. It's infuriating. But anyway, most supervisors in Oregon won't even do a long visit with a 1-year-old.
Well, and then they're saying that, so the first one is going to be at the visitation center, and then after that's going to be at a library. I'm like, who's taking a 1-year-old to a library for 4 hours?
It's just a long time. 4 hours is a long visit.
That's too much. I'm like, I can't. Sergeant Giggles. I love.
If I were her, I would try to do like 1 hour each of those days, you know, or maybe 2 hours each of those days.
There you go. Yeah, I wouldn't try to squeeze it all into 4 hours in one time. Yeah, I would do like you said. Since she's already going to be out there, just do 2 hours a day, each day, whatever, because she has that 2-hour minimum. But in a library, I don't understand why. And they put, and I get what their thought process, right? It's a clean place, it has clean bathrooms, it has the changing table, whatever. But again, you can't take a 1-year-old to a library.
Oh, well, here, you know, okay, so here you can't, like, I don't know, the libraries here are very toddler friendly. They have, like, story times, they have, like, you know, but I don't know if it's the same in Texas. But I think the main concern, well, there's going to be a lot of concerns. The first is it's got to be somewhere with air conditioning. Most supervisors won't go into, like, the other person's house unless you're sort of established, you know?
Yeah.
Some of them will, I guess. I don't want to say most, but some of them will, but many of them won't. So they're going to have heat to deal with. Anyway, there's concerns about her absconding.
Yeah.
So I think a library provides 4 walls that you can close down a door, you know?
Right. And I mean, she is dealing with off-duty police officers, even though she has absolutely zero respect for any type of law enforcement, anybody with any type of authority. I don't see her being able to get away from this situation. It'll be interesting to see how she acts when she doesn't have all of her, you know, all of her people around that she can manipulate and boss. Because I noticed one thing with her. She likes to have around people who are much younger than her, are, you know, have some sort of, you know, disability or something, because she wants to be able to pick on and control people. And it's really just sad and disgusting, you know?
It is really sad. When you were telling me about what was happening or what happened, I don't know, that day, yesterday, I guess, that
Yeah,
was
it was
really
bad.
disheartening.
Neza said, can the cops truly stop her if she does try to take him? Yes. Well, okay, let me rephrase. I don't know. Actually, I'll let you answer. Now, they're off-duty officers, and the court order does say that they approve any law enforcement officer to do that. Now, if it was just a supervised visitation person, probably not. No.
I don't know, there's a little bit of gray there. I think the supervisor has a responsibility to make sure that the baby is safe,
Mm-hmm.
and that's their, obligation to ensure that the child is safe. And in this situation, the court has essentially said that mom is not safe at this
Yeah.
point, requiring supervision. So I think that they would definitely use some level of force and probably would stop all visits.
Yeah.
And then they
Um,
would file an emergency order to have no visitation.
and yes, absolutely, Brittany. If they smell of any type of substance at all or give any indications that they are under any type of substance at all, visitation is halted. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. In my state, you weigh before you even start. In most cases, maybe not every single time, definitely for sure the first time. And again, it's based on whatever the history and the order is. But we would have them test before they even start the visit to make sure they're okay. And if there's any signs, it is stopped absolutely immediately, and the stuff is sent over to the court to halt all future visits until they go back to work.
There's a lot of questions that I maybe think we can clear up. So a
Yeah.
lot of people are asking, and I'm going to kind of bulk them all into one answer. Questions are, can 2K wait outside? Can he wait in a lobby? And if she can bring anybody or if she can live stream. And so I want to paint the picture of what these supervised visits look like, and that may answer the question. So most supervisors and supervising locations have rules. And so both parents are expected to abide by these rules. Generally it prohibits, photos, or very restricted. I think Angie, you and I talked about photos, and sometimes the supervisor can take pictures, and because you don't want to take away those moments, but at the same time you want to make sure that the child is safe. She can't bring in any weapon, or any of the other items that are, I don't know what's TikTok appropriate, you guys. I'm sorry.
I don't even know anymore. I can't even show socks, so I just kind of wing it over here.
Okay.
But no items of anything.
Yeah, so no, bad things in a bag. She'll probably have to show her bag. Typically, parents are actually not allowed to wait. Now, this might be different, and the supervisors might say, oh yeah, you should, hang around outside, but they actually don't recommend that, for a lot of reasons. It's uncomfortable, but also babies and toddlers can kind of sense, if the other parent's around, and it can, in some cases, impact the parenting time. Now, this is a different situation. So anyway, anything that's not covered in the rules, the custodial parent can make requests. So some supervisors don't allow gifts. Some allow gifts only if the other parent will, allows it. Because what you want to avoid in those situations, which 2K would never do, but you want to avoid a parent giving a child a gift and then the child being so excited and then taking it home and then the other parent throwing away or doing something because the other parent gave it to them. These are really high conflict cases most of the time. Like I said, I don't, clearly he would not do that. He made the Easter basket. That's not him.
Right.
But a lot of supervisors experience that. So many say either no gifts or, only by the other parent agreeing. So they just have their own set of rules. But on top of that, 2K can have his own, like nobody can visit, or only, Bree's mom, or only, approved people. Many supervisors, particularly in her case, they probably won't allow anybody to ever be in the same visitation with her, just because of her the abduction risk. But many supervisors will say after 3 visits, you can have a family member that's approved by the custodial parent, or something like that. So, but generally, no, it's meant just for the parent, for the child. So I hope that answers all the questions about what that looks like.
Yes, and guys, she cannot take the dog on the visit either.
Yeah. I don't think she'll have to be drug tested. There's nothing in any of these filings about drugs. I mean, there's accusations of, oh gosh, I said it again. There's accusations of, sorry. Oh, if I get you in trouble, I'm going to be so sad. Okay.
No, you're fine.
There's accusations of it, but there's no evidence. So, yeah, I'm surprised that this attorney took her case.
Yeah. You guys, all we can do is give our opinions and our advice. We don't control what other people do. Taking a case like this at the last minute, and this, it's not gonna help her much. But nonetheless, we give our advice, our opinions. You guys come on and watch it, and that's what we do.
I meant no evidence of, I don't know what I just did. I meant no evidence presented to the court. Not that she's not online streaming and saying all this stuff, just that there's nothing presented to the court.
Right. It literally blows my mind. Hold on, I want to read this. Is her attorney the one she talked on the phone when she, no, I believe it. No, it's somebody else. Yesterday, when I got off, I got a chance to watch a few of the clips, and I saw a clip where Bree was saying, I guess she had said earlier in it or whatever, that she had a surprise for everybody. And then she's like, oh, the surprise was my friend Molly. I put in everybody's wine. I wonder if they're feeling it yet. I know Josh is. And Josh is the young man with autism.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, again... we're streaming it, that how nothing happens. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even have the words to.
Yeah, she and then I saw another one today where she was like, here, Santos, here. She was like, here's his vape. She's like, go, I think she said wave at him, and she's like, no, wait, actually go right in front of him, because this kid that's his one of his securities, almost like a stimming thing. That's what he uses as his vape for comfort. She's like, go in front of him and drop it in a bucket of water. Why are we doing this? What fun are we having by doing this? And how, as a mother, would she feel if somebody, when baby W gets older, how would she feel if he went around a group of people and that's how they treated him? It's just absolutely disgusting to me. That behavior was, the taunting stuff to make him lash out. They thought it was funny when he would start stimming, because now, not on top of the overstimulation, right? It reminded me, though, of what they did with baby W, right? They bring this small child, he's 10 months old, they put him on a bed, they have 10 people around him, they have all the cameras, they have the lights, they have the TTS going. That kid was overstimulated. Well, Josh has autism, right? So that's one of the issues with them too. Some of them is that they have, overstimulation. They had the music blaring. They had all these different lights going. They had 15, 20 people in the bus. It was so overstimulating. He was lashing out because he was getting frustrated. He hit a couple people. Then they were saying, "Oh, you assaulted me," and he's just like, I just it was absolutely so sad. Yeah, I saw that before I got on, that Josh is back with him because he just doesn't know. And they're using it as content to taunt this poor man. Where's his family, I wonder? I don't know. It just breaks my heart why that's allowed.
It's really sad. Did you go over his response already? Did I miss that?
No, wait. To this stuff, I don't have a response. This is the last thing that I got is the 113 pages.
Oh, I thought you were reading that email. That email's on here. I totally thought that you were on the same document as I was. Oh,
no, so we'll let you read away. Yeah, let me close my
Oh gosh, you want me to read that? Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't my voice annoying? You know, like you have such a soothing voice. I think I've told you that before. I love your voice. I could seriously fall asleep to your lives. I have many times. And my voice is so annoying. Okay.
No, I think my voice is annoying. But now that so many people tell me my voice is so soothing and that they fall asleep to it, I'm no longer going to take offense to all the people that fall asleep while I'm talking to them in real life. Maybe it's just that. No, just kidding. No, you have a very soothing voice too. So you were good, and I don't have it. Plus, I've been literally talking all day. My voice has been scratchy, so I would love it.
All right. Well, let's dig in. I think I said last night, essentially, she just says that it's not correct, but it is nice because she gives a breakdown of sort of what occurred. I do, before I start really quick, one thing that is interesting to me is that this flurry of filing didn't occur until she didn't have an attorney. And initially I still have some issues with it, but initially I was thinking that, you know, they were taking advantage of a self-represented person who doesn't know how to deal with this. But then as I thought about the case as a whole, that's really when she started to go downhill. And so it's also when her attorney withdrew. And so I just kind of wonder, you know, what happened in end of November, beginning of December. And I think you all said it last night about that's when she hung out with Ash and Santos and Texas. And I don't know, wasn't she there like the whole month of December? And she just like tanked. Like that's just when it all went. I mean, it was already kind of on a bad trajectory, but anyway, I was a little bit perturbed by all the filings, you know, that were happening while she was self-represented, because I see that, you know, and you're just kind of like, oh gosh. Okay, moving on. I just wanted to say that little blurb. Okay, so she says that she's going to recite the current visitation orders. So number 1, on March 24, 2025, the court granted petitioner temporary emergency orders pursuant to respondent Briello. Should we call her BLO? Briello? Anyway, sorry.
No, you can call it whatever.
Okay. I just don't like to say her whole names online.
I know. I usually just say Brie too, because it's so weird to say. I don't say the whole name. I just say Brie or Brianna.
Yeah. Okay. Pursuant to which respondent Brianna visits with the minor child, baby, are required to be professionally supervised and must occur in Dallas, Texas. Attached here too as Exhibit 1, a true and correct copy of the March 24th, 2025 ex parte order. 2, on page 1 of the supervised visitation order, and then it's the form name, attached to the ex parte order at item 5, supervised visitation provider, box A is checked for professional, individual, or supervised visitation center. See Exhibit 1. Also on page 1 of the supervised visitation order, FL341A, attached to the ex parte order at item 6, authorized provider, it states to be determined by petitioner. See Exhibit 1. Number 4, also on page 1 of the supervised visitation order, FL341A, attached to the ex parte order at item 7, duration and frequency of visits. It states all visits between respondent and the minor child shall be professionally supervised. Dates and times to be coordinated by mutual agreement of the parties and the availability of the visitation monitor. See Exhibit 1. Number 5, respondent is ordered to pay for 100% of the costs of her professionally supervised visits. Number 6, the court also granted child abduction prevention orders on March 24th, 2025, as set forth on the Judicial Council Form FL341B, attached to the March 24, 2025 ex parte order. See Exhibit 1. Just so that everybody knows, the ex parte order is the emergency order. So that was an emergency order that, well, she wouldn't have been present anyway, but this was presented without her. Where's I at? 6. Okay, 7. Respondent was ordered to return the minor child to petitioner at 12 p.m. on March 25th, 2025 at the LAPD Central Division Station. The court's order authorized any law enforcement officer to enforce this March 24, 2025 order. See Exhibit 1. I know really quick, a lot of that really bothered a lot of people, but the court was trying to give her a chance. It's like, we really don't want, police to come in and knock down a door and, physically take an almost 1-year-old, so they were really trying to throw her a bone. She did not take it.
Naturally.
Number 8, respondent failed to return the minor child to petitioner at 12 p.m. on March 25th, 2025 at the LAPD Central Station as ordered. As set forth in petitioner's request for domestic violence restraining order pleadings filed on March 27th, 2025, Hollywood PD was required to go to the respondent's residence to negotiate a return of the minor child. It took nearly 2 hours for multiple law enforcement officers to convince respondent to bring the minor child outside so that they could release him to petitioner's custody in accordance with the March 24, 2025 order. Petitioner filed a request for domestic violence restraining order against respondent on March 27, 2025, which the court granted in part. Respondent is ordered not to abuse petitioner. Respondent's visitation with the minor child was ordered to remain as ordered on March 24, 2025. So we're moving on to the next point where she's now responding to respondent's ex parte requests. Number 10, as set forth herein, well, let me just actually pause for a second. So what's really nice for a judge is how clean this is laid out. You have dates, you have reference to your exhibits, you are clearly explaining to the court, like, this is what was ordered. So that way the court doesn't have to then, flip back to exhibit 1 and be like,
right.
They're tabbed in the system, but still it's just nice to get a quick overview and then, to continue in a way that's easy to follow. The last order, or the, I'm not order, but the last request for order, the ex parte request for order filed by Bruno's attorney was very hard to follow. Sometimes that's intentional. I know that bothered a lot of people, but sometimes that's intentional because sometimes they're trying to sort of muddy it up so that the judge is like, oh, I don't know, this is just too messy, so I'm just gonna, order it.
When you said that, that's the word she used yesterday. Remember, it's about to get muddy, and then says, and this is where it gets sticky.
Yeah.
Maybe. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yes,
so,
you guys. Sorry, really fast. These are not the final orders, you guys. The trial piece of it has not even started. This is just the banter back and forth and the temporary orders. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so here's now we're getting into the actual response. So the meat and potatoes, so to speak. So number 10, as set forth herein above and in the attached Exhibit 1, the March 24, 2025 order requiring respondents' visits to be professionally monitored allows petitioner to select the monitor and states that supervised visits are a professional, individual monitor, or supervised visitation facility. Anyway, 11, in connection with exercising his right under the March 24, 2025 order to select the professional monitor, petitioner obtained at least a list of 8 professional monitors from the Texas Attorney General website. Petitioner also came up with a series of proposed visitation dates, including Mother's Day, respondent's birthday, and 4th of July. plus monthly 1 week long periods of daytime visits through July 2025. Prior to the court issuing its March 24, 2025 order requiring respondents' visits to be professionally monitored, the custody and visitation orders in effect awarded respondent 1 week of visitation time following every 3 weeks that the minor child was in petitioner's custody. Petitioner's proposal allows the minor child would continue to have the ability to see his mother every day for 1 consecutive week every month, even though the visits are now ordered to be professionally monitored. That wasn't the most clear, but basically he's trying to follow what the original order was, just within the confines of supervision. Number 12, petitioner is willing and able to provide additional proposed weeks after July 2025, in the event the court has not concluded the evidentiary hearing on custody by July 31st, 2025. Which they're not going to be done, guys. So this hearing is probably not going to occur on May 2nd, even to start, and it'll be pushed out quite a bit. Plus, it'll be a multi-day hearing, which will be really challenging for the court to accommodate. But okay, now she's going into petitioners' counsel's correspondence with respondents' counsel re-selecting a professional monitor proposed schedule for professionally monitored visits. So now she's going to respond to the allegations that Bree's attorney made about her. Respondent retained her current counsel on April 15, 2025. Respondent's counsel and I exchanged a series of emails between Wednesday, April 16, 2025 and Monday, April 21st, 2025 regarding the selection of a visitation monitor. Attached hereto collectively as Exhibit 2 are true and correct copies of my April 16, 2025 to April 21st, 2025 emails exchanged with respondent's counsel. The attachment comprises 18 pages. A summary is described herein below. 14. On April 16, I'm not going to read the year anymore, okay?
That's okay.
We're in 2025. On April 16, I received an email from respondent's counsel initiating a conversation via email about respondent supervised visits in Texas. I responded the same day, sending respondent's counsel a link to the Texas Attorney General website listing supervised visitation providers in Dallas County, Texas. Specifically, I stated my client has already started contacting monitors in the area. I sent him the below link from the Texas Attorney General website listing supervised visitation providers in that county. I did not see, for the county, family court approved list online. So my thought was the Attorney General's list was the next best option. California has a list, so does Oregon. Most states do, but I guess Texas doesn't. So then she says, see Exhibit 2, page 16 of 18. So that, again, that's really nice for a judge, right? They're like, oh, okay, I could just reference this right away.
Right.
And also, too, when you do that, something like that, the judge doesn't even really need to go there because there's a level of credibility, you know?
Yeah.
In that. So, 15, respondent's counsel responded on April 16th at 6:23 p.m. stating, yikes, that's a really short list with only 8 options. She proceeds to send me a list of 4 new options proposed by respondent, completely ignoring the fact that the March 24 order states that petitioner is to select the professional monitor. See Exhibit 2, page 15 of 18. On April 17th, at 1:22 p.m., I responded to respondent's counsel's aforementioned email, letting her know I had been in court and hadn't had a chance to thoroughly review her email yet, and asked to speak tomorrow, April 18th, so that our clients can get set up with a monitor and respondent can start exercising professionally monitored visits. See Exhibit 2, page 14 of 18. Number 17, rather than wait to speak with me by phone on April 18th, 2025, as requested throughout the evening of April 17th and into the afternoon on April 18th, respondent's counsel continued to argue with me about the fact that petitioner wanted to utilize a professional monitor with the supervised visitation center. Notwithstanding that the March 24th, 2025 order, which allows petitioner to select the monitor, whether a professional individual or supervised visitation center. See Exhibit 2, pages 14 of 18 through 6 of 18. Oh, she's basically saying there's a lot of emails.
Yeah.
And that actually provides some clarity, because I think that his attorney got some flack, I think, because she kept going back and forth with them. But anyway, 18, I explained why petitioner was adamant about having the professionally monitored visits occur at a facility, at least initially, due to the fact that respondent has repeatedly violated the court order, withheld the minor child from multiple law enforcement officers, and threatened to kidnap him from the professional monitor. I explained that a supervised visitation facility was more secure, and that given respondent's actions, there was a need for her to build back petitioner's trust. However, petitioner would be open to moving to a different location as long as there were no issues during the initial visits at a monitoring facility. At no point did I tell respondent's counsel that petitioner was unwilling to allow respondent to exercise visits. And in fact, I repeatedly attempted to clarify that respondent could start exercising visits as soon as a professional monitor was confirmed. See Exhibit 2, pages 8 to 6 of 18. While exchanging emails with respondent's counsel about what the court's March 24th order stated, I also contacted one of the professional monitors that respondent's counsel had proposed to me on the evening of April 16th. This monitoring agency represented that their visitation monitors were off-duty law enforcement officers, which was reassuring. As of the date of this declaration, I am waiting confirmation that this agency meets the state of California requirements for a professional monitor, but assuming the form FL324P form, she double says form, can be filed, petitioner is willing to proceed with this monitoring agency. And I don't know, I don't love that part. But anyway, 21. Accordingly, on Friday, April 18, 2025 at 12:15 p.m., less than 48 hours after receiving respondent's proposed list of monitors, I let respondent's counsel know that petitioner was willing to utilize one of the professional monitors she proposed on the evening of April 16th. I also let her know that I would have my client complete the intake paperwork so we could get started. See Exhibit 2, pages 5 to 6 of 18. Respondent's counsel responded to my aforementioned email on April 18th, 2025 at 12:21 p.m. stating, "We'll talk to her now." See Exhibit 2, page 8 of 18. I understood this to mean that respondent's counsel still needed to speak with respondent about petitioner's agreement to utilize the specific monitor selected from respondent's list of 4 proposals. I'll pause really quick. What that tells me is that Brianna's attorney may have been trying to call bluff, like wanting him to say no to the visits, to see if they could get him on like withholding any type of visitation. But anyway, that's just my total I don't know anything. That's just my opinion. Respondent's counsel did not follow up with me via email on April 18th regarding the monitored visits. She proceeded to serve me with a declaration on April 18th suggesting falsely that petitioner was not cooperating with the March 24th order for respondent to have professionally monitored visits. On Saturday, April 19th, I received an email from respondent's counsel complaining that petitioner's paperwork had not been submitted to the monitor yet. I responded the same day, letting respondent's counsel know I do not typically work weekends, but wanted to respond given the urgency and misrepresentation regarding my client. However, it was Easter weekend and I was going to be spending the day with family on Sunday. I did reassure respondent's counsel that petitioner would have his paperwork completed on Monday, April 21, 2025. See Exhibit 2, page 4 and 5 of 18. Petitioner did complete his intake paperwork by Monday, April 21, as promised. Petitioner's intake paperwork for the professional monitor the parties agreed to utilize was completed before 8:30 a.m. on Monday, April 21st. I emailed respondent's counsel at 8:34 a.m., letting her know the intake paperwork was submitted. See Exhibit 2, page 3. We appeared to reach an agreement, but inexplicably, Respondent continued to argue with me. It is important to note that at no point since Respondent's counsel substituted into this case on April 15th has Respondent provided a proposal for dates and times to exercise her professionally monitored visits with the minor child, other than making a request for a visit on the minor child's birthday, to which petitioner agreed. Moreover, petitioner, though having the right to select the monitor per the March 24th order, agreed to use a monitor selected by Respondent so that Respondent can start commencing visits with the minor child as soon as possible. After confirming petitioner had submitted his intake paperwork, I initially let Respondent's counsel know my position that our clients could proceed. The parties had agreed to utilize required visits to be scheduled and paid for online by the Respondent. Thus, I emailed Respondent's counsel at 9:03 a.m.
Hold on.
Yes.
If it's lagging, you guys, and frozen, we may have to reset. Try to keep tapping. Do your totally frozen.
I hear you. Can you hear me?
It's saying, oh, it's good now. Lagging, can't hear. Reset. We're back. All good now.
Are we good? It could have been for some reason, TikTok's been weird for me.
Okay. I mean, you never cut off from me. I could hear you, but it's lagging. Yeah, it could be. There's, you get a bunch of trolls coming in here and then they report you for absolutely no reason whatsoever. So it could be that. I haven't got a violation or anything. So just make sure this is the time, guys, when you guys keep tapping. You guys never have to give me, but tap, send your daily heart me's or whatever it is. And we'll just keep on moving along. I don't want to be on too late tonight, but we'll keep it moving.
Okay. So I'm going to restart at number 28. Thus, I emailed Respondent's counsel at 9:03 a.m. on April 21 with a comprehensive proposed visitation schedule through July 31st, 2025. Specifically, petitioner was proposing four hours per day on April 26th, May 11th. Anyway, we already went over the dates. See Exhibit 2, page 1 and 2 of 18. Respondent's counsel did not provide a substantive response, complaining that it takes 48 hours to schedule a visit once the intake paperwork was completed, and asked if petitioner had completed it yet. Notwithstanding that I had already told Respondent's counsel 30 minutes prior that petitioner's intake paperwork had been submitted. Moreover, none of petitioner's proposed visits were within 48 hours. All proposed visits could thus timely be scheduled and exercised by Respondent, and Respondent had not yet proposed any visits other than the minor child's birthday on April 26th. See Exhibit 2, page 1 of 18. 30. Yes?
No, they were just saying they love the TikTok shop, so I was showing I noticed that I matched my cup with my thing today. They probably thought I did that on purpose. I did not. I just noticed. Sorry. Focus.
No. What I do think is kind of sad is I wonder if Brianna's attorney is like working overtime to try to get visits, and then she's getting pushback from Brianna, which we will never know because that's attorney-client privilege. Oh. So we'll never know. And so it's curious, I kind of wonder if some of this sort of frantic emailing, it appears, is coming from just the realization that, maybe this isn't what it's really about,
Well, that too, and the fact, remember, in the beginning, right, when John was a ancient or half-assed dad or whatever it was that she called him, even though he paid for everything, this is the first time any financial responsibility has fallen onto her. So yes, she wants to see the baby, but in order to do that, she now has to pay for her own travel. She has to pay for a hotel, and she has to pay $137.50 an hour for a minimum of 2 hours each time she wants to see him. So I think we're really going to find out now how bad she wants to see him. Me, I would go to the internet. I'd pay anything and everything to see mine. But let's see how.
Yeah.
The octopus matches my outfit too. I have an octopus on my head. If that gets clipped wrong and comes out, who just sent me that? If that gets clipped wrong.
Oh no.
Oh God. Don't let that be on the T pages. Later.
Oh geez. Okay, simultaneous to this exchange of emails, we appeared on April 21st, 2025 in Department 2B for the hearing on petitioner's request for domestic violence restraining order. Because our home courtroom Department 2C was dark on April 21st, Respondents' Counsel requested a continuance of the April 21st hearing, so the court in Department 2B tentatively set it for May 2nd. When the parties were already scheduled to appear for the hearing on custody and final orders on petitioner's move-away request. Although Respondents' Counsel also asked the judge in Department 2B to make changes to the March 24th ex parte orders regarding respondents' professionally monitored visitation, that request was denied. Attached here too as Exhibit 3 is a true and correct copy of the April 21st minute order. So then she's going to go on now. She says correspondence with Respondents' Counsel regarding respondents' instant request for ex parte relief. So then this is the response to what she was actually asking for. So following the April 21st, 2025 hearing, I received ex parte notice from Respondents' Counsel stating that she would be appearing on April 22nd. Okay, so I'm going to pause really quick. In California, I know everybody's saying that notice is not required, but that is not true. In California, you're required to notify the other party that you're intending to appear ex parte, and you have to do it within 24 hours. So, for example, if the ex parte hearings are held at 8:30, then you have to tell them at 8:30 the next, or the day before. If they're at 12 or 1:30, that's the second half of the day, then you have to notify them by 1:30. This notice is extremely informal. It can be a text message. It can be a phone call with a voicemail. It can be on TikTok, whatever. It's very informal. You just have to let them know, hey, and you have to give them an opportunity to appear. Okay, so following the April 21st hearing, I received ex parte notice from Respondents' Counsel stating that she would be appearing on April 22nd in Department 2C seeking the following orders. Combining the move away request for order hearing with the domestic violence restraining order hearing, since both are now back in 2C. Continuing both hearings past May 2nd to allow us to issue subpoenas for the domestic violence restraining order and prepare for that hearing. A set visitation schedule with Keeping the Peace, LLC, acting as the monitor in the interim for Brianna and the baby. Alternatively, a hearing on shortened time on these issues. Attached here too is Exhibit 4, true and correct copies of my email exchange with Respondents' Counsel on April 21st regarding Respondents' ex parte notice. Number 32, I acknowledge receipt and asked opposing counsel if she was aware that Department 2C is dark the week of April 21st through April 25th. She said she was not. Also, by the way, both of these attorneys, I think, mostly practice at Lamoureux Justice Center, which is in Orange County, not Stanley Mosque or any other of the LA County courts in LA. So that's another thing to keep in mind, that Brianna's attorney may just not be super familiar with that right now. So, but was moving forward with an ex parte anyway. So she didn't know, but was still going to appear anyway. In total disregard for petitioner's agreement to utilize a monitor proposed by a respondent when he was authorized to select the monitor, and his prior proposal for visits through July 31st, when respondent has failed to provide a visitation proposal to date. Respondents' Counsel stated she can't stand by idly while John makes scheduling visitation for Brianna and the baby this difficult. See Exhibit 4, page 11 of 12. 33, I responded immediately stating we proposed a very extensive visitation schedule giving Brianna daily visits for 1 week per month, which is the time she had prior to professionally monitored visits being ordered. You haven't even responded other than to say it was insufficient. See Exhibit 4, page 10 of 12. That looks so bad.
Sorry, really fast. You guys, when it says it's dark, that just means that it's closed. It's just shop talk, I guess. It's just slang for that. That the courtroom was just closed is what that means. Okay, sorry.
The sun has set. Oh, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, sorry, that is close. That's what it is. The judge must have had like vacation or something. Um, but I will say that
You're
this
not
is,
dumb because you know what? When I read it the first time too, obviously I knew what it meant. But when I read the chairman's like, wait, what do they mean it start with? You know, it's just one of those things. Sometimes when we read stuff that we're used to reading, and we're used to those terminologies and whatnot. And so I had to. I've said it each time we went over that. So you're not dumb at all, love. You are just fine.
I do think that it's odd to ask a court to order um, specific visitation schedule but not propose a schedule. Like, what's the court supposed to do? Just like make it up themselves? Like, they don't know the parties, they don't know the situation, they don't know anything. I mean, certainly they know that it's a mess,
Right.
but that's about the extent of what they know, especially if she's going to be appearing in a different courtroom. It's like, how can you do that? Like, I hate using these words because anyway, many attorneys, there we go, I have vocabulary. Many attorneys will, when they do something like this, say this is what we are asking the court to order. Like, specifically, we want keeping the peace and we want these dates and times. Anyway,
And I think it helps too. I mean, I don't know about on your side, but I know my side. Like whatever it is that we do, anything we do for the decision maker or whatever, if we can do things to make their job easier, it always helps, right? Like how when I was trying to read through the nonsense yesterday that Bree's attorney put out, and it was so messy, like you would read it and it'd be like an exhibit A, but that was like 40, 50 pages back, and how John's attorney laid it out so clean and clear today. I'm not saying that that's going to change his decision, but I just always think that just makes everything just so much easier for them. They don't get as frustrated and grumpy because they're looking through a bunch of shit. And it just was so much clearer today with him. Or sorry,
yeah,
with
I
his
mean,
attorney.
they're much more likely to be listened to. But I will say, I was just talking to one of my friends. I actually think she may be listening on this live. Anyway, she's also an attorney, and I had appeared in court, and I submit. I don't know if she might be listening. I don't know. She's like texted me a while ago saying she found me. But anyway, so I was talking to her, and I was, because we got everything that we had asked for, because we came to court with a proposal, and it was reasonable. It certainly was not what the opposing party or opposing counsel wanted, but I remember having this long conversation with her. I'm like, always, always, always go to court with a proposed order or a proposed something, because the opposing counsel showed up, and he's a well-seasoned attorney, like he's a trial attorney, like he's, and he just came saying, Judge, we just need to get some time for, my client. I'm trying to take out the names, and my client, and he needs to see his child and whatever. And so then the court took it under advisement and was like, my client's proposal is going to be what's ordered. Didn't even explain why, just said this is what we're ordering.
Yeah.
It's like, just come with something.
Yeah, when you go in and you have it kind of right now, and it's easy, and the other person doesn't have anything to counteract. It's just easy. It just, at least my experience, it's just always seemed to help, so just always have your shit together, be prepared, know what you want, don't be like, oh, I don't know, can we have 5 more minutes, and what I'm saying, all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I mean, I will say in that case that I was representing, the opposing counsel was like, oh, they went from no time, 0 days, 0, no relationship, and then wanting 50-50. And I was like, okay, that's silly. But anyway, okay, moving on to this order. But I do think it's interesting, though. I just will note that I think it's interesting that there's still no schedule proposed from opposing counsel. Okay, respondents' counsel claimed in her email sent on April 21 at 11:01 a.m. Did you note the strangeness of the schedule John proposed, and asked him why he was suggesting the dates that he was? I'll answer that for you.
That's what her attorney said?
Yes, hold on. Sorry, guys. Oh, geez. Let me read that. Let me start this
Stop
again. This
it.
isn't a
It's
quote. This
so
is a
high
quote.
school. What? Wait, yeah, sorry, read that again. Hold on. I need to take this all in. Hold on. Let me get my drink and back up.
Okay.
Okay, girl, I'm ready.
Oh, wait. Let me back up to number 34, and
Okay.
then I'll get to 35.
Honey, I
Respondents Counsel proceeded to send me a series of emails on April 21st, wherein she repeatedly and falsely accused petitioner of failing to cooperate with visits in complete disregard for the concessions and proposals he had already made. Presumably, Respondents Counsel's motives for spewing this false narrative about petitioners due to the fact that respondent would prefer to travel over Memorial Day weekend than see the minor child. And her travel plans conflict with the May 2025 visitation week proposed by a petitioner. Confusingly, respondent has also failed to provide any counter visitation proposal date. Okay, that's what I was going to say. But just wait until I get into 35. But I was going to say, if she can't go that day, she doesn't need to throw a fit. It doesn't need to be a hissy fit. It's just like, hey, my client can't make it this week. Any ability for movement within this? Can we do this week instead?
No.
But apparently, it's just here is what the response is. Respondents Counsel claimed in her email sent on April 21st, 2025 at 11:01 a.m., quote, Did you note the strangeness of the schedule John proposed and asked him why he was suggesting the dates that he was? I'll answer that for you, M dash. Brianna announced multiple trips for her birthday that fall on or around the exact dates John suggested. It seems like John wants to set her up, hoping she passes on time with the baby, and chooses to take her trips instead. She won't fall trap to that game and will rearrange her trips accordingly. End quote.
What?
See Exhibit 4, page 9 of 12. Oh, dear.
Oh my God.
Okay.
A, like John knows, but B, that's the time that she's been requesting. It's like going back, it's that she has the 2025 holiday season. Remember, they kept complaining that he had he had all the holidays for 2024, so he's now following what the original thing was and giving him 2025. I cannot. That is so petty. I would be shocked if the judge I don't know. I would be shocked if the judge didn't say anything about this, cut the snarkiness and shit out. But that's just crazy.
But also, did I not say that it felt like, and I had not read this far down, I promise I had not, but I felt like they were trying to bait him to saying no.
Yeah.
I felt like that's what was going on when, oh, I need to talk to my client. Oh, I need to do this, because there was no expectation that he was going to say yes. And they wanted to have that he denied parenting time on the record. So now this is it. Oh, man. Okay.
Well, it is so funny, though, really fast before you go on. It's crazy because, again, she wants to see the child so bad, as she says, but then wants to now have the travel time. Like, that seems to be more important, and how coincidental, it continually just makes her look bad. As long as those trips are not booked. And again, John's been very reasonable in this entire thing. I think if she was to contact him or respond back instead of saying, well, don't you think it's fun? Do you want to know why he did that? Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you. Well, then why'd you ask the damn question? And then just say, you know what? She has travel time on that. Can we do it the week before, the week after? You'd probably be like, all right.
Yeah. Nope. Instead, it's because 2K wants to set her up, hoping she passes on time with the baby and chooses to take her trips instead.
Crazy. But she's done that always. She has done that since the first time he took her, or the first time he took him.
Yeah, it's crazy.
She has done that. She has passed on. I think that's when she got her first taste of freedom without the baby. And then, like you said, it got really bad in November when she met with Santos and Ashley and all of them. And I think that's when things really went downhill.
I mean, that really is. I mean, anyway, it's sad to watch everything sort of go up in flames in front of your eyes, but still not knowing everything, because what happened in that time? I always go into the trying to figure out the why. I mean,
Me too.
you know, um, anyway, so, okay. 36. To be clear, up until this point, it was assumed that respondent would want to see the minor child on her birthday and appreciate this proposal, given that in my experience, parties routinely request special carved out time on their birthdays, and also Mother's Day and things like that. But okay, 37. She didn't say that. I just added that. Okay, 37. I reiterated my request that Respondents Council provide me with respondents' proposed visitation dates in an effort to avoid incurring fees to respond to an ex parte motion. It is so expensive, you guys, to appear emergently. It takes forever. Anyway, okay. Respondents Council responded stating the issue of visitation dates is still going to be included in tomorrow's RFO, request for order. Again, she claimed, in complete disregard for my client's efforts to establish a visitation schedule, that she doesn't have any faith that sending John dates will get us anywhere. But she hadn't even sent any dates. Okay, anyway. Okay. See Exhibit 4. I added that little explanation point. Okay. See Exhibit 4, page 8 of 12. 38. I responded by correcting the assertion that my client was somehow being uncooperative when all he had done since April 16 was try to confirm a monitor and get a schedule in place. Oh, what a freaking mess, you guys. Okay. 39. Respondents Council continued to argue with me about the alleged untimeliness of petitioner's completion of the intake paperwork when this is factually untrue. To be clear, I told Respondents Council on the afternoon of Friday, April 18, 2025, that petitioner would get started on his intake paperwork, and confirmed to her at 8:34 a.m. on Monday, April 21st, that petitioner's intake paperwork had been submitted. Moreover, there was no harm to respondent for the less than 72 hours over a holiday weekend turnaround in petitioner completing his intake paperwork, because as of 5 p.m. on April 21st, 2025, respondent has still not even provided a proposal for when she wants to exercise visits.
It's crazy.
See Exhibit 4.
Yeah, everyone's in my comments is just like, E-Type just did or Travis just did her forms for her yesterday. She didn't even fill out her own forms. I think we talked about this yesterday. She did not even do her own forms. It just blows my mind. She's had to do absolutely nothing of her own in any of this, probably her whole life. I don't know. I know, Neza, right? How dare 2K give her the holidays that she asked for and that they agreed upon? Damn him.
Okay, so then petitioners requested relief. So this is what they're requesting. There is no exigency warranting an order granting ex parte relief related to respondents' professionally monitored visitations. I will pause really quick on that. Most states don't have such flexibility with ex parte orders. Most states, it's like has to be an immediate danger, like the child is going to die if the court doesn't step in.
Yeah.
Sorry about that slip of the word, but so or like irreparable harm is going to happen if the court doesn't step in. California is pretty liberal with their ex parte relief, but it still has to be kind of like an emergent issue. So she's just basically saying it's not emergent. The March 24th order allows petitioners to select the monitor. Although petitioner was not required to afford respondent any input, petitioner proposed 8 options to respondent in spirit of cooperation. Respondent refused to exercise professionally monitored visits with any of the monitors petitioner suggested, so petitioner then agreed to utilize one of the professional monitors proposed by respondent, so as not to continue incurring attorney's fees debating the issue of securing a monitor. Petitioner completed his intake paperwork in less than 72 hours of agreeing to the monitor, inclusive of Easter Sunday weekend. 41. The only visitation schedule proposed to date has been proposed by petitioner and respondent has failed to substantively respond to that proposal other than to state she does not agree. It is unclear why she does not agree or whether she would agree to some of the dates, if not all of the dates proposed by petitioner. Number 42, if a schedule is to be ordered, petitioner requests that the court adopt the schedule he proposed as outlined in paragraph 27 here and above. Of course, the visitation monitor will also need to be available, and we have not been able to confirm the monitor's availability due to respondents' refusal to substantively discuss or consider petitioner's proposed schedule or provide petitioner with her own proposal. So there must be an ability to deviate if a court-ordered schedule is established on dates or times the monitor is not available. Also, really quickly, when a parent is ordered supervised visits, the courts don't like to have a schedule because it may not be possible for one party to accommodate that because of the supervisor. So you have like a third party that's not involved in the decision making here, so the courts don't generally love to, order time.
Sorry, really fast. I just have to say that you guys are freaking amazing. I just got an alert that popped up that says we're in the top 20% of our league. You guys are freaking amazing. Thank you. And also, AA Law Talk, I keep getting this message too. Everybody wants to make sure that you know how much that they appreciate you coming and joining and doing this. I've got a couple. You guys need to do a podcast together. They just want to make sure that you know how much we value you over here, and we really appreciate you giving us your time and coming over and hanging out with us and explain all this to it. So we adore you. I just want to make sure that we put that out there too.
Oh, thank you. That is so kind. Thank you. Yes. I love doing this when I have time. It's fun. I mean, yes. It's not fun. I mean, it's kind of sad, but it's fun. Okay, so if the court is going to order a schedule, they want it to be the one that he proposed. Number 43, I've repeatedly attempted to meet and confer with respondent's counsel to try to obtain visitation proposal from respondent to avoid the need to proceed with an ex parte request for order, to no avail. At this juncture, it is still unknown what dates and times respondent wants to exercise professionally monitored visits with the minor child, as no proposal has been provided. Petitioner thus lacks sufficient notice to fully respond to an ex parte to establish a visitation schedule when, as of close of business on April 21st, respondent has never proposed any professionally monitored visitation schedule. 44, this is almost done, guys. Respondent's conduct outlined herein above has frustrated settlement and increased petitioner's attorney's fees. I have spent approximately 3 hours corresponding with respondent's counsel and approximately 3 hours preparing for, the instant responsive declaration, and I anticipate I will spend 2 hours reviewing respondent's motion. Petitioner is billed at my hourly rate of $650 per hour. Thus, I expect petitioner to incur $5,200 in attorney's fees solely related to respondent's lack of cooperation with respect to selecting a monitor and mutually determined a visitation schedule, and the filing of her instant ex parte request for order. Petitioner is seeking an award of $5,200 in attorney's fees. He's not going to get those. California never orders these. Yeah. 45. Finally, petitioner respectfully requests that the court deny respondent's request to combine the domestic violence restraining order hearing and evidentiary hearing on custody and continue both dates at this time. The May 2nd, 2025 hearing was scheduled in October of 2024. Respondent has had 6 months to obtain a new attorney and conduct discovery, but failed to do so until 2 weeks before the hearing. Alternatively, petitioner respectfully requests that the respondent's counsel request relief from Department 2C on May 2nd, 2025. That's what was granted, by the way. When it is no longer dark and the home court is available to coordinate new dates and times, if any, on which to reschedule these hearings based on both counsels and the department's mutual availability. Woo! There you go.
That's great. So I want to say one thing really fast, because I know 2K has been getting a lot of flack and a lot of heat these last couple of days. Again, I never talk about any conversations I have outside of TikTok, but Did you guys hear $650 an hour? And people are calling him greedy because people choose to and want to send his stuff gifts to the P.O. box. And I think it was yesterday, he was battling himself, and they're like, oh my God, he's so greedy. He's so this. First of all, that was done kind of as a joke. He was like, playing whatever. He's paying $650 an hour to fight for his son, and he's been doing this for almost a year. Remember, he said he spent, I think it was like almost $100,000 in a matter of a couple of months. That man is working, and people complain, oh, well, he's online all the time, he's battling all the time. He's fighting for his son. He should be. He's doing exactly what he should and needs to be doing. He's making way more money on here than he would elsewhere. He's also started a YouTube. He's also got brand deals. He's also got all this other stuff going on, and all of it is to go to his son, or for his son, for him to have a safe and loving home. And to think, in today's world, that people on the internet have the audacity to beat up a young man who is putting everything else aside, his dream of, going into the barber and the hair products and stuff. All his hair products, he said, are just stashed in a warehouse or something somewhere, because he couldn't even focus on that, because his focus is his son. So I don't understand where we've come as a society, that we're going to bash a young man that's willing to do absolutely anything and everything that he can to make sure his son is not living in the house where these people just rugged a young man with autism, assaulted him. We don't know everything else that's happening. Can you imagine Baby W being in there? And then the 48 hours that he was in this house, he was exploited for almost $500,000 in front of a bunch of P3DOs. I don't understand how anybody can hate on this man. I say we're done. We go over and we support him whenever he's battling and gift him a little bit more, because I think it's all bullshit. That's just
I think that where people's anger comes from, that maybe, and I don't want to overstep on other people's own circumstances, but when you have such a high conflict case, not just 2K and Brianna, but I'm talking about the general, people who are watching here, people who go through this, I just see it because it's what I do. So it is all consuming, and there are many people who don't have the ability to do that. And I'm not justifying their anger. I'm just saying that I think a lot of the anger comes from so many people experiencing really high conflict cases, and in some cases even maybe losing their own kids, or and not being able to, it's something that is on your mind all the time, 100% of the time, especially when it's your own kids, And so for him, he's obviously doing everything he can, and he should, and he is. But I think that's where people's anger really comes from, which is not right. It's not okay. They have to deal with their own, stuff. And, this, but I think that may be where some people are getting some anger from, which is not appropriate, but I just, anyway. Yeah. But it is very, very expensive. And that's what before I even saw, what her rate was. I mean, that is high, actually. That surprises me a bit. But yeah, I mean, it's expensive for just a very short, and they were probably in front of a judge for 10 minutes. I mean, if that, honestly, it was probably they reviewed everything and they were like, oh, we're going to punt it over to 2C on 5-2. Yeah. Which is what they did, And
I mean, she's worth it though. She's worth it. She's doing the dang thing. He probably could have went with a less expensive attorney just because of how it's played out, but he didn't know that in the beginning when he first hired her. He didn't know, when the baby was only a few days old, that she was gonna put everything out there on how she acts. You know what I'm saying? So she's worth it, but I don't know. I just don't understand why he gets the hate that he does for fighting for his son. And someone said it perfectly. If the roles were reversed, they would be praising it up and down, right? Because if a mom was doing this and putting all this out there, they would just be praising her up and down. But it always seems like, once a man's like, according to Bree, that's the bare minimum. Yeah, we'll see. Bare minimum.
Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, oh, unfortunately, though, in California, they don't really award attorney's fees unless there's the only times I've really seen it in any case. Well, actually, this would be the one. This would be the one that you would see it
Yeah.
in, but
Yeah.
but it's usually when there's a big pay or income discrepancy. So if you have a stay-at-home parent and was, married to a millionaire or something, like, they'll order fees and they'll say he has to pay up front and things like that. But with in a situation, well, the abuse of the system, and this, I honestly, the argument could go both ways for both. I know people don't like me hear me say that, but like, he's kind of incurred a lot of his own fees too that were not totally necessary. So,
Yeah.
but I don't think that they'll get ordered in this case. But if you were to see it ordered, it would be in this case.
Yeah.
The fact that she hasn't even, didn't substantively respond, trying to avoid the emergency hearing, says a lot. So
Yeah. Man, I tell you, this is definitely a case of cases. I'm really curious. Like, I'm genuinely curious. I know you said yesterday that her law firm, is on TikTok and watching to see what's going on. I wonder if you're just watching people like us and we're coming on and we're talking about the cases and reviewing the documents, or are they actually watching what she's doing as well?
I don't think they're watching what she's doing.
I think that's who they need. Listen, Bree's attorney, or people, if you're watching, click off of my page immediately. Go to her and go watch what your client's doing right now to a young autistic man. Just go over there. Just go watch for 5 minutes, honey. That's all you're gonna need is like 5 minutes. Okay.
But the thing about that is, her attorney's position is that that's a persona.
Yeah, I know that's her position, and I know that I grasp that's because she has to represent that, or protect that, whatever she has to do with that. I grasp it, but a persona is not somebody who intentionally. She did it. She literally, like, no kidding, guys. Yesterday, she legitimately earned her name B Diddy. You guys have all been calling her B Diddy for the longest time, but yesterday she legitimately did a B Diddy move. She put her friend Molly in each and every single person's drink without them knowing. That's exactly what I just don't know how, like, this should be an easy win for 2K is all I'm going to say. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, you hope so. You look at all the things. I mean, the court doesn't see all of this, and they're just realistically not going to be able to use all of it.
Right.
And she's not. I mean, I will say this is new type of work from 2K's attorney than what we've seen over the time that she's been self-represented. And I don't know if it's just because trying to quickly get stuff out, but there's a lot in there that cannot be used in court, that is in the declarations and is in the filings. And she's really steered away from that here. She just stuck straight to the facts, was clear and concise, and was very, like, she could have said a whole lot more, right? Like,
Yeah.
but didn't, because it's not necessary and because it's not totally proper. So this was good. This response was good.
And to be honest, they really don't need to use the evidence, any of the stuff that's put out on TikTok or social media in general. They don't really need to use it because she's done enough stuff behind the scenes. Granted, a lot of it has been put on here anyways, but it's been in real life and they have the evidence like of that, such as oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Jamenda. Thank you for letting me know. Perfect. Oh my God, I'm gonna call my employer tomorrow and tell them. Oh, Jesus, I love when people come in and tell me what I do for a living. I love it.
Wait, what? I missed it.
Oh, they tell me all the time I'm not a social worker.
Oh.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Anyways, as I was saying, it just, she has done absolutely enough in the back end that she doesn't need to do it. And, so they'll.
I think her own testimony is going to make her lose the credibility to do that, so I don't.
I want to be in that courtroom so bad when John's attorney questions her.
I know you got to come down here.
I so want to see her because she can never take anything serious. She has absolutely no respect for any type of authority. She thinks everything's a joke. Anything for stream. Like, it just blows my mind. So it's going to be very interesting to see how she acts in that situation. So,
yeah.
I just may be able to go. You just never know.
Hey. You should. But yeah, that's what it is. So that was a very good filing. So we'll see. People are asking if she'll get locked up, which gets to, I don't think so. I've heard the warrant stuff, but they seem like very old things and very minor things. Like, I don't think so.
I think they're both like, what, a theft under $100 or something? Or something like that. They were very minute. I don't think at this point, she should just go and pay them so that they're just gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, I just...
Shelby?
What happened?
Shelby says he's going.
Oh gosh. Yeah. All right. So we're all going, huh? Is that a date?
Big old party down there.
It'll be really quick, though, guys, on May 2nd. So if you're planning like a trip, the May 2nd one will be very quick.
Yeah, that one won't be the one to go to. It'll be when they go to the hearing. So, or when they go to do the trial piece of it, So.
Well, yeah, I mean, it'll be. Well, they haven't specifically pushed it out yet. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we don't have anything to say. I don't know. Maybe we just come down. Well, we'll have to figure out. We'll talk about it offline and see what we can come up with. It shall be interesting.
I know. Yeah. I do think that the court will push it out. There's no chance that this could be heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is still scheduled. It's still scheduled, yes, for May 2nd, but it's. They've loaded the docket. They've loaded the case and how many things they have to get through. So,
yeah,
and it's already ruled on. That was already ruled on. The stuff that we read was already ruled on.
Yeah. Nikki says, we as nosy bitches, we are. I do want to say, though, right, we come on here and we read all the documents. And again, I always love that AA Law Talk comes up and helps me through it, too, because she is a practicing family law attorney in California. I am a pooper scooper. And so together...
No.
Because they found out my title is program manager, so they feel like that makes me not a social worker. Apparently, they've just never moved up in the career to where they're running. Anyways, nonetheless, so it is great to have both perspectives of this, and I think we mesh well together. And we want to come on and be able to give you guys the absolute facts, not bits and pieces and a bunch of misinformation or stuff that could make you lead to think something, and then it spreads like wildfire. You have a bunch of misinformation all over TikTok, and that is not what we want. But we also both have the same thought process. In a custody court or custody case, nobody really wins, right? Because it's all about the child. And the best outcome for the child is that he can have two parents that are loving, clean, in the right mind, able to co-parent together, or even if they can't, but can be civil with each other and have two healthy, great, active parents in life. That's a great outcome, which is why I preach all of the time. Co-parenting is the best gift you'll ever give your child, and it doesn't look like that's going to be the outcome in this case, at least not right now. Maybe later, but
Yeah, that is the hope for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody's asking what the order was. Sorry. So I'm out of breath now because I went downstairs and then back upstairs. Okay.
Not today.
which is not a good sign. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day.
Talk about that later.
So the minute order, okay, so the order is, it's not the final judgment of the case. What happened is Brianna's attorney filed an emergency motion trying to get a supervisor appointed or ordered, and then a schedule ordered, and then wanted a continuance and some other things. And the everything was basically denied, except for the continuance request will be addressed by the department.
Yes. Sorry, I have to address this because this is like the second night in a row, and there's always sirens out here. People are like, dang, does she live in the hood? I do. But no, there's literally a fire station, like, well, I don't know where I live, but like on the corner, and our major trauma hospital is just over there. So that's why you hear the sirens. That's one of the reasons why you hear
I didn't even hear them.
They're all the time. I kind of blocked them out too, but last night they're like, ooh, they're coming for you. And they're like, again? They're coming. Where do you live? What's happening? But no, there's literally I could walk to the fire station. It's very, very close.
Oh my gosh.
So that is why we hear them all the time. I've learned to block them out. No, I don't live in Seattle. But yeah, I've just kind of learned to block them out until they come on live, and then randomly I just happen to hear them. Yeah. Crazy. Just one of those things. All right, guys, do you guys have any other questions? Because if not, I want to wrap it up. And I always say I'm going to go to bed early. I'm literally at work all day. I jump right online. But this would give me like 30 minutes. 30 minutes of extra time
for yourself. But
right. I haven't even had dinner yet. We had this big, which again, I absolutely love this. We do this once a year. My work does. We put on this huge event, and we highlight some of our most successful clients that have gone through some of our programs and have really turned their lives around. And it's just such a beautiful thing. And today, one of my clients that I worked with for a few years was really high. Anyways, it was just a beautiful thing. I was sobbing like a freaking newborn baby because I'm so proud of him. But we have this, we always have it at this like huge banquet hall that's super fancy. But I don't know why banquet food is so disgusting. Like there is, that chicken was drier than I don't know what, with absolutely no season. Like nothing is ever good. And then I was late, and so I just hopped online, so I haven't even really eaten. So I'm starving. I want to take a shower. I want to get out of clothes and put on real clothes like a muumuu or some sweats and just go hang out.
Yeah, hey, I'm here for that. I'm already in my pajamas. I got in my pajamas at like 6:30 today. I was like, okay.
I feel like we should have to wear muumuus to work. I feel like a Katrina. Is her name Katrina? I think.
Yes, that is her name. She came on to one of your lives too one day. Yeah, that is her name.
Oh man, she is bringing the muumuus back, and I'm like, honey, she is so funny. If I could bottle that girl's energy, I swear we would all be millionaires. She is hilarious, and she is bringing muumuus back to life. That's why I was comfortable 2 days, 2 nights in a row, hopping up at 11, 12 o'clock at night and making a video in a muumuu.
I know, I love that. There's a lot of questions about her trying to hide money, and yes, she can. And yes, it's kind of, I mean, unless 2K has some way to prove, it'll be a challenge for sure. That will be a big challenge for him. I don't know that he really cares.
Her hidden income.
Yeah.
Well, won't they be able to pull? Because now, again, I take everything that she says with a grain of salt, because she says a lot of stuff online, I think, to throw people off. A lot of stuff she says is very, very sarcastic. But remember, they were talking about the $20,000 transfer out of her account, and then she just said the other day that she had to transfer. It was literally the day before the court date. She had to transfer all the money out of her account into whatever his name is, ET's account. So I think then that way they would be able to show it, right? If it's
nothing she says is real. I don't know. Some you guys take not you, Angie, but like everybody, the internet, the world takes what she says as being real. It's not. I mean, if you actually look at the facts, her financial situation is pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I mean seriously, I know that I hear people say that she's, said she made,
$250,000, like $20,000 out of her account and all this, and she has all this money, but she's got a repo on her credit. Like I think she may have lost that other apartment. Like I've heard the people in the house in moments, you can kind of tell when there's some truth coming out. And I think I heard or saw a clip or something of Jordan saying she has terrible credit. Mm-hmm. She has a fee waiver on file here. She probably gets services. I remember, maybe I don't remember, so maybe I shouldn't say that, but I think earlier on she was talking about getting the baby on Medi-Cal.
Correct. She did say that. Yep.
Yeah. So, you know, her like real financial situation, whether it's hidden or, you know, whatever, but is pretty dire. So, anyway, I don't know that 2K cares that much. I think it's just the point. Like, she needs to support financially as much as she can instead of going on all these lavish trips. But yeah, they could for sure. She could for sure hide, and I think she is for sure hiding income. I do question how much she's actually making, though. Like, I don't believe anything that she's saying.
Well, and you guys have to remember too, right? So let's say that just for easy math, right? Because I'm tired. So let's just say that $500,000 that people are saying that she made over the couple of days the baby W was there. There's one account. There's we'll just say that there's 5 people, right? We're just going to use Jordan, Itai, Valet, Bree, Santos. Oh no, then there's Travis. Right, so you have to divide it up then against those people as well. So each person gets a cut of it, I would assume. I mean, I don't know how it's done. I think that they embellish absolutely everything. I think she played it so dumb when her car got repoed. She's like, what? My payment wasn't made? What do you mean? My sugar daddy does. I mean, it's all just for jokes. People who really do have money, you guys, don't flaunt it like they do. Every time they're in a thing, bust down. Like that's just not normal people who have real money. They're very laid back. You know what I'm saying? It's just, the whole thing to me is just a bunch of kids that come into some money. And yes, you can make great money on the internet. I'm not saying that they don't, but they have quick money, I think. And it's not something that's gonna last them a long time. And unfortunately, when you come onto the internet and you act the way that you do, look at Ashley right now. Look at the situation that she's in, right? Probably can't get a job for nothing because of all the stuff, but all of her accounts keep getting banned because you can't come onto a platform like this and show your socks or anything else, and you get your account taken. But then you also can't get a job because look how she's acted. She has been against absolutely every single race besides white people. So I don't know who's going to hire her. Who would hire Brie? Can you imagine Brie coming in for an interview and you'd be like, what the? Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? No. They're not going to be able to get regular jobs. So.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I think her actual financial situation is pretty dire. Yeah. I will say that her expenses don't really matter for child support purposes, like just because she's choosing to live in this huge mansion in LA doesn't mean that then she doesn't have to pay as much. It just means she has to move somewhere that she can afford. So they don't really take that into consideration. But anyway, her contract is probably weird. It'll be sticky, but I don't think he seems to really care much about that.
I truly think that if he just wants his son safe, you know what I'm saying? He truly just wants his baby to be safe and out of harm's way. He's always said he wants him to have his mom in his life. He's not going to have him call another woman mom or any of that type of stuff. I mean, that may change if she chooses to, if, she chooses to not be in his life or whatever, that may change down the road. But yeah, I don't think that is going to be a stickler for him for the finances. He just wants us over and done with.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It is. The whole thing is just absolutely crazy. What did you say? Yes, you can see they were. Oh yeah. Yesterday was just, and I only literally saw a few videos. I'll have a little bit of time tonight to scroll TikTok or answer some of your guys' questions and look at some of those videos. But it's. I just wish people would stop watching it and stop giving them money to have something said on there. It's just a money grab. I think maybe that's one of the things that annoys me is they really don't care about anybody else. They're just so self-absorbed that they carry that damn TTS thing that just blares the most annoying. First of all, that should give me a headache if I'm carrying that around in 2.2 seconds.
I know, I can't watch it because it's so...
It is horrible.
It's so dystopian.
Yeah, and then to have all
is that the word?
I don't know, but that's too big of a word for me, girl. Remember, I'm just a Cooper scooper. But I just have to have fun with people that know all about my life, so I'm here for it. But like when they were on the gondola on the thing, and they were just, the people were paying to talk crap about the other people in there and making the most ridiculous schmexual comments and racial it's just disgusting. And like, why would you do that? Why not turn it just the whole thing? I just don't grasp it. My kids are grown, and if I saw a video of my kids doing that, it'd be like they were young again. Absolutely not.
I don't know what possesses somebody to behave like that. It's so weird. Like, I think about my family, and I mean, I'm older, so that's probably part of it, but my sister would rip into me if I had an online present like that. Like forget my parents, because my parents are too old. They don't know anything, but my sister would be like, what?
Right.
Or my niece would be, would be like, get out of here.
Yeah, my kids would do the same. If I was acting crazy, my kids come on my live all the time. They would literally come on here and chew me up and spit me out if I was acting crazy or disrespectful or whatever. It just blows my mind. Oh, don't let me forget, you guys, to tell my kids I'm also not a social worker. I'll put that on the list. My employer and my kids got you.
Oh my gosh. TikTok is a wild place sometimes.
It's a wild place over here, I tell you. It just cracks me up. And the minute they say it, and I ask them, I'm like, okay, great, what am I? Where'd you get this information? Like, who are you? Where'd you find it? Let me know. They magically disappear. It's the funniest. I'm like, hello, crickets.
Of course.
It just cracks me up. And I don't know if it's like supposed to like hurt my feelings or upset me. I don't know what it's exactly supposed to do. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like what would even possess somebody to say that. Who cares? Even if it's true, even if it's not true, who cares?
Well, it's because of first because they doxed me, and then they found out where I work, and literally my title is program manager of a program that works with youth and young adult that are justice involved. So they're like, aha, this is her title. It doesn't say social worker. Got her.
But didn't you say that you didn't go the route to become a licensed social worker?
I'm not. Yeah, I've said that from the very beginning. I do not have a license because I do not work in a clinical setting, and I don't work for CPS. And that was
so. Is this a surprise to people?
It was to these yahoos. Because they're like, she doesn't work for CPS. We found out, and she's not licensed. We're like, ooh, got me. Like, I don't know what my reaction was supposed to be, because they're like, ooh, call her work. Everybody call her work. Okay, we'll call them. My work loves what I do.
No, but that's really scary that people think it's okay to call people's work and stuff. Like, that's just wild.
Right, but for what? It's like, I already know what they say. So you're telling me that we have a manager. Is she talking about her cases? No? Oh, okay. So she's talking about other people that are putting their information out online, and then she's giving advice to other people who come in and ask her for it, and she's not, and it's free? Oh, okay. Well, damn, we hired somebody really good then that even after she gets off work, she's willing to sit there for hours and do that. We knew we hired the right one and moved her right on up the land, up the chain of command. Like, what are they going to say? It'd be one thing, again, I've said this from the very beginning. If I was talking about my cases, absolutely, that would be unethical, that would be wrong, and I would absolutely, first of all, I'd quit my job because that would be absolutely crazy to do. I could definitely get fired, but I would never do that because I'm not unethical. So, anyways, call Bree's lawyer and have her.
Don't do that, people. Don't do that.
Please don't do that. But yeah, it's just funny. Someone sent me a note or a comment that someone had left on a video and says, "What the heck? This lady's still at it? Didn't we call her job months ago and report her?"
That's wild.
What did you want them to do? You act like the people, like when they catch people out in the wild, out in the wilderness, and they're like, going on a racist rant or something with somebody, or just being completely belligerent or something, and they have like, their company logo on or their company truck, or if they find out where they work and be like, is this who you want representing their company? That I could grasp in a sense, but what? I don't care. I just kind of think it's kind of funny. It's just whatever. Do you, boo? I mean, hey, listen, I live rent free in your head. I don't think twice about you. I know who you are and I got all your information, but.
Well, I'm glad you work for a good place that isn't using that against you.
Oh, absolutely not. Nope. There's a lot happening, but it's absolutely, I love my company. And I've said that, like, they can even go back in my videos. I've never said a bad thing about my company because I absolutely love what I do. I love my job. I love the company that I work for. I love our mission. Like, I love everything about what it is that I do. So, yeah, it's a blessing. And they fully, not only do they fully support me, I just had our marketing manager come to me and say, you know what, we would like to kind of add to what it is that you do and get your help and help us start, promoting this and doing some stuff with you on that side too. So all you guys, if in fact you called, all you did was help me move on up more. So appreciate that.
Somebody asked if I research potential clients or believe everything they say. And the only reason why that question popped out to me is because I actually typically take really challenging cases that most attorneys won't take. And so, yes, I do quite a bit of, I just call it trust but verify, right? Like, I want to build trust with my clients and potential clients, but I would never make a representation to the court without absolutely verifying, because most of my clients are in really poor positions and have a lot of work to do. So I do, but this one may not.
It will be interesting, to say the least. Wait, what happened? Who's found safe? Wait, what did I miss?
I don't know. I don't see that.
Angie, people are in Valet's chat on Kick saying that, yeah. Oi. Okay. I hope not. I found it very odd. I find Bree's response to everything very odd. There's 3 minutes. Oh, man.
Wait, what's happening? I'm missing this.
Okay, so I did a video. I posted a video the other day. A video came out of a girl screaming, and it was not a. Did you hear it?
I saw that. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And they were trying to say, oh, she was being tickled. They were playing water. Now, that did not sound like that to me. Now the girl's gone. Her social media's gone. Everything. So the police show up yesterday at the house, and Bree's like, oh, cops are here. Like, it's just a normal thing. Did you guys watch Jersey Shore? You know how they're like, cops are here. Bree's like, cops are here. So she goes out there, and she's like, hi, guys. And they're like, hey, is Yama here? She's like, no. Don't know who it is, or she hasn't been here. And then she ends up saying, oh no, it's been like a whole week or so. No, it was just the day before. And then they're like, yep, no idea. No way to contact her. Nope, don't know who she is. And going on and on. And then they ask for someone else, and they're like, we've never heard of that person. the whole thing is absolutely crazy. Yeah, that definitely was not playful screams. That definitely was not.
And didn't Santos like get in the screen more so
Yep.
you couldn't see what was going on behind?
Yep.
Yeah,
so the whole thing is very scary. And then the police just leave. Again, I'm like, and I grasp it. When you do a welfare check, there has to be more to it. I don't know where her family is. I hope she has family. I hope that they are looking into it. I don't know. I'm terrified. A missing case has been issued. I would have to look that up.
what does that mean, a missing case? Like somebody filed a missing person report? Is that what you mean?
I don't know. I'm assuming. Wait, I see. This is what's so hard because you get so much information. She's in Puerto Rico. She's with family. She didn't just disappear. There's so much information. It's really, really hard. And again, that's why I like to really try to just not talk about it till I can do my little, research and then come out with facts and say it. That's why people are always like, you would make so much money on here if you would just come out right away with the videos, but people already see it by the time we do it. I'm not going to come out race as soon as the information to put a video out to make money, because I don't do this to make money, and it'd be wrong. And then I'm part of the issue of spreading false information. You may get it from me a day or two late, but it's going to be facts because I'm going to verify it. So
that's really scary though. Hopefully everything's okay.
I definitely hope everything's okay. I'm definitely scared. It's given me a yucky feeling in my tummy, but did I repost the video, love? Which one, Missy? The one that I did, or I will have yesterday and today's video up on YT if you meant those ones. Whatever's going on around these people is absolutely. People are dissipate. It's just everything over there is crazy. I truly hope that they really are watching what's
15 to 16 years old.
Wow, I hope not. Now, I just saw a video too the other day. She was the one that they were trying to evict or whatever, and Bree's like, "Oh, you want to fight me? Are you trying to fight me? Would you want to fight me?" I was like, "What's happening right now?" Wait, she was under 18. No, she's 18. Yeah, it's so hard. It's like it's hard because everyone has different information.
But they also lie about their age too. So it's like, what's real? Know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is.
Okay,
it's very
Legal Beagle says she was 18. Wow. Well, anyway,
we'll just have to pray on it and hope that everything she is okay. Yeah. And go from there. I don't know. Crazy. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. And that sounded bad.
All right, I'll jump off.
I'm like, wait a minute.
I tried to find, okay, so somebody also made this comment earlier saying to accept their friend request, but there's something wrong with my thing because I see the requests in there, but I can't answer any of them. So Angie, too, when you were like, tried to message me, and then I even tried to go back through, I could see them all, but I can't hit accept or whatever it is. So I don't know what's going on with that, but
it's so weird.
Sorry if I haven't accepted.
You're good. Yeah, when I went to go message you that night when I got home from my daughters, I went to go message you. I was like, oh, we're not friends. What? And then I saw that you had requested. That's why I told you. So that's weird. TikTok's been acting, kind of shady.
Well, but I was gonna say I did email you that email, but maybe I got it wrong too. So.
Yeah, I don't think I got it. I don't know. I'll have to look and see. Crazy.
Anyway. But okay.
All right. Well, thanks for joining. All right. Have a good night.
Okay. You too.
Bye. All right, so we're gonna finish up then, guys. I always love when she comes up. First of all, she's just such a breath of fresh air, and it's so nice to have a practicing attorney in family law in California to be able to answer all the questions. And I love that she keeps it so real. She always tells, I know you guys may not like this answer, but that's real. That's what we want. And again, that's what my page and my platform is all about, is keeping it raw and real. We want to know the real. We don't want to know an answer just because that's what we want to hear, you know. Make sure you have updated TikTok. Oh, I gotta update it. Oh, shit. I barely know how to work the dang thing. I gotta figure out how to update it. I'll figure it out. So, yeah, age and everything is different. It's different in every state, just things are just different. But it's just nice to have two different perspectives that work on two different sides of, this, to have great information. I adore having her come up, and you guys seem to really like her too, so it's absolutely great. The fuck is that? Okay, just really, really quick coffee, because I am exhausted. I am beyond. I am so tired. Yeah, she is the best. Let's see.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so I just want to clarify a couple.
Just make sure it's really, really, you know what I'm saying, friendly TikTok, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So I just want to clear up a couple things about Yami. So the video, it resurfaced. It was an older video. I mean, it's not really, really old, but it wasn't from the day before the cops came to the house.
Okay.
And then I don't know how old she is, but she did say she went to LA to become a dancer and stuff, so I'd figure 18 at least. And then there was something else. I'm just gonna. So when Bree said oh yeah, she left a week ago, and then so the cops say, "Do you know who Alma is?" And that's when Bree said, "No, I don't know who that is."
Who is Alma?
I guess that's who called to do the welfare check on Yami. Yeah, that was that was really the only thing. So I mean, I don't know how old that video is, but supposedly I haven't seen her since they did the eviction, quote unquote.
Yeah, I haven't. I have absolutely no idea. No idea.
Yeah, there were rumors she was in a tropical place, but I haven't seen her at the house at all. Anytime anyone's asked, they kind of just, "Oh, I already answered that. Oh, we can't get a hold of her." Or Bria said, "Oh, I talked to her and she's fine." So I don't really know.
I don't believe anything that comes out of her mouth. I saw that another clip was put up of when they were her and Jaleel, whatever his name is, were playing or whatever. That definitely was not the same video that was put up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. To me, I don't care when it was. It's not okay. Something is definitely wrong. And if no one knows where she is, and then randomly, and again, they also have all their passwords and all that stuff. So that's another issue all in itself. Right? Yeah. Because now her social media is just randomly gone. What young 18-year-old wants their social media page that they built up just to be gone? No, there's more. Yeah, there's more to the story.
It's very, very sketchy. I have screenshots of her TikTok account. All I need is a freaking last name, and I could find at least a phone number or something, but yeah, I can't even figure out her last name.
I have no idea. I didn't even know who she was, to be honest. I have no idea, but we'll just have to keep her in our prayers. And
she looks very, very young. I didn't think she was, old enough to be there. But when she said that, I was kind of oh, well, maybe she is. I mean, I don't know. She looks really young, though.
Yeah, I don't know. And again, I don't like to play schematics. I don't like, oh, she could be. I don't. Yeah. I just want facts, and then when I get facts, then I'll put it out. But it's concerning to me, so we'll have to go on that. So, all right, love. Well, thanks for coming up. I want to. I've got to be able to say goodbye and get to bed. I am.
Okay, yeah, you're good.
And I've got to eat.
I just got to go eat, girl. I just got to the store right now. I'll be in the chat.
All right, bye. Yeah, I am really exhausted. So okay, so I will say goodbye to you guys. Thank you guys. Look at you guys, 517,000 likes. You guys are freaking amazing. You guys need to give your fingers a rest. Give it a break. Yeah, it would be really, I don't know. I don't even know if there's a way to look it up. I'm sure there is. So, all right. I love you guys all so much. You guys have a great night, and I will see you guys tomorrow, as always. Back at the regular schedule time. Have a good night, guys. Love you. Bye.